Progress? Yes.
One of the most surprising things for me of this process is how much is going on.
To build the 514 Living Memorial and Healing Center.
How much is it going to cost to build it? And tell me about how much money has been raised and what are the fundraising efforts underway?
Our fundraising efforts are ongoing. We've had a lot of support from the state of New York, the city of Buffalo, and others. So we've raised about $8 million committed to date.
That is both public and private funding.
Once we do the grand announcement of the initial campaign fundraising, we'll allow all of that information to be filtered out so people would know. Some people still want to be private in their giving, and we want to honor that. But there are those organizations and companies that are waiting for us to say, hey, it's time.
A project construction manager was named May 12th. Now we can expect a total fundraising goal.
The construction manager is going to be Buffalo Construction Consultants.
People are watching every dime. You know, we're living in a city that's broke. So much needs to be done. So people are wondering where the money is, how is it being allocated? What do you say to them so that we're clear and transparent?
There's a trail. Nothing's done in cloak of darkness. Everything we're doing is up and above board. So they can check on our progress.
Community engagement is part of the equation.
And it's really about creating and maintaining a two-way communication between the foundation and the community.
One thing that I will not do is debate with anyone as to what we're doing. We're transparent in everything. We don't have an opportunity to make a mistake. We have to continue the progress regardless of the chatter that's out there. You will see the truth and the dedication we have once this is done.
Foundation meeting minutes are on the website for everyone to see exactly what's happening.
Does that list how money is being spent as well?
You know, as we bring on a construction manager, they will be able to do a lot more in-depth reporting as far as the construction budget.
How much do you think the construction manager is going to cost? Approximately?
Yeah, so usually a construction manager is a percentage of the total construction costs.
Are you pleased with where you've come in just 1 year as executive director?
Oh, absolutely. I'm pleased about the progress.
We're going to continue to follow the money, and you're good with that.
Absolutely. This will not be a broken promise, and our hearts are part of this, and we're going to make sure that it does work, it does happen.
DeRace's mother, Linda, seemed on the verge of collapse after the sentence was pronounced and declined comment as she was assisted by family members in leaving the courthouse. His father, Peter DeRace Sr., did speak to us briefly.
The only thing I could say, I think the judge was fair, you know, and we'll see what comes, you know, with the appeal and that.
In court, lead prosecutor Joe Trippi continued to describe DeRace as a predator who took advantage of drug-addicted dancers by coercing them into sex acts with himself and customers and friends to feed their addictions. In asking for leniency, DeRace's lawyer, Eric Sainline, noted that many of those who claimed to be victimized in such manner were themselves engaged in prostitution outside the club, while noting several of those witnesses were either being paid by the government in exchange for their testimony or given leniency for criminal charges they faced, and how several people who appeared on a list of defense witnesses found themselves charged with federal crimes, claiming this scared several others from testifying for the defense. DeRace also spoke, saying that for those who felt his actions caused them significant harm, he was deeply sorry, but later called us to maintain his innocence.
I've said this from the beginning, Dave, I'm innocent. I don't belong in jail. The government's supposed to be looking for the truth and justice. That's what prosecutors are supposed to be doing. We're looking for the appeal.
The judge told DeRace, "You took advantage of women who were vulnerable in their need for drugs, and while your attorney is correct in saying it was their choice to use them, it doesn't change the fact that you took advantage of them."
This case was ready to go to trial. A jury was selected last week, but an agreement was reached this weekend. Now the city of Buffalo will pay the Arnault family roughly $5.9 million. Buffalo firefighter Jason Arnaud died while responding to the massive fire at 745 Main Street in March of 2023. The wrongful death lawsuit was filed by Arnaud's widow, Sarah Tierney. Under the agreement, the nearly $6 million payment would be made in 3 installments over the next 3 years, with the first payment expected in July. A lawyer representing the Arnaud family says they will continue to advocate for firefighter safety in the city of Buffalo. The city's attorney says it was important that the Arnaud family be taken care of.
The most important thing was to make sure that firefighter Arnaud's family was taken care of. We had to work on those terms, and obviously reasonable parties disagree about certain aspects of what happened or how to go forward, but it was very important for us to make sure that Sarah and her daughter Olivia were taken care of.
They're going to be actively involved. Their foundation has raised money for safety equipment for the fire department, which they donated, and they're going to continue to do that in the future, so nobody's here again for this.
The settlement still needs the approval from Buffalo Common Council, and Attorney Desmond says this is one of the largest settlements in the city of Buffalo's history. And while the money provides some closure for the family still continues to grieve Jason Arnaud. He was a husband and a father in addition to being a Buffalo firefighter. On your side in Buffalo, Chelsea Swift, Channel 2 News.
Every single day, firefighters go out and risk life and limb to protect our neighbors, to save lives.
In an effort to protect those who protect us, Buffalo Mayor Sean Ryan is proposing an investment of $1 million for new firefighter turnout gear in this year's budget.
This damaged gear, this is not what we want firefighters going into fires with. And if you're looking for the fire department to come save a loved one, you would hope they'd be able to come with better equipment than this.
The city says the plan is to phase out the current gear over the next 3 years.
It includes an updated moisture barrier technology and contaminant control features intended to reduce exposure pathways to firefighters. It is also lighter. It improves mobility and reduces fatigue for firefighters operating on the fire ground.
About 1,400 pieces are needed, 2 sets for each firefighter.
To make sure that it fits our operational needs. So this isn't just a one-size-fits-all situation. This puts our firefighters in the most comfortable position in an uncomfortable environment.
Officials say it's not only about the equipment in order to fight fires.
We're all rowing in the same direction.
But also protecting long-term health.
Improving our turnout gear, bringing occupational cancer to the forefront. And it's exciting as the president of this union to be a part of that.
Older gear can contain PFAS, known as forever chemicals, that are known to cause cancer. The newer equipment contains lower levels of those chemicals.
This investment will prevent cancer in our firefighters, and it will save their lives. And it will save the lives of their family, because we know that sometimes those chemicals get transmitted at home to their children.
In partnership with Roswell Park Comprehensive Cancer Center, the goal is to make sure firefighters are getting additional cancer screenings and monitoring because of the risks they face on the job. On your side, Courtney Courtwright, Channel 2 News.
We are long past the days when you'd rush down to the ticket office, cash in hand, to grab seats for Bills games. Longtime Bills fan Russ Anderson remembers.
Everything's digital now. Truth be told, the Bills really don't have that many tickets to sell you, and part of that can be explained through some math.
The new stadium has only about 60,000 seats. Season ticket holders who bought seat licenses account for close to 54,000 of those, with 3,700 more held for the visiting team and marketing, and 1,700 or so for suite holders. That accounts for just about every seat here. It means the secondary market is about your only option. We checked several ticket sites today where we found prices for that Thursday night home opener ranging from $600 to $700 for the cheapest seats, with the asking price for the best ones to be over $3,000. Here, you are buying resale tickets from season ticket holders, like Russ here.
I believe it's 107, row 30, seats 17 and 18.
Well, let's see. Currently on the secondary market, his tickets for the regular season opener would fetch, $2,000 apiece.
When you see what they go for, it's tempting.
Deal or no deal, Russ.
There's no way I can sell it. There's no way. I can't miss that. Absolutely not.
He says he might sell you a preseason game. The cheapest tickets we found for those are around $170. Of course, if you want, like so many others, just to be among the first to get inside and see the place without breaking the bank, there will be the red and blue practice planned for early August, and which traditionally has been free.
On your side in Orchard Park, Dave McKinley, Channel 2 News.
If you thought a ticket to see the Bills play at the new Highmark Stadium starting this fall would be expensive, this is a different kind of football.
Have you seen the price of the tickets?
I have. I can't even wrap my head around.
The cheapest ticket to see the opening match between Canada and Herzegovina in Toronto currently lists for a little over $1,000. The most expensive? Your eyes are not playing tricks on you, although for $28,000 you do get to sit in a lounge, but as far as we can tell, even for that price, it does not include a spa treatment. You'll also get to see the grand opening ceremony featuring musical performances by several top stars. Ticket prices are perhaps one reason AAA of Western New York has not gotten a lot of interest in the World Cup.
It really depends on which location, which game you're looking at.
For example, if you were to go see the second game Toronto will host between Ghana and Panama, tickets range from just over $400 to just over $3,400 each.
I definitely recommend, for someone who this is their dream to be able to attend a game, compare the different venues, locations, and dates to see maybe what works the best for them.
And with Boston and New Jersey hosting matches, our region is within striking distance of 3 of the 16 World Cup venues. But even in the typically expensive New York metropolitan area, another surprise awaits when it comes to public transportation.
Buckle up, it's gonna get costly.
For the train ride from Penn Station to East Rutherford, ordinarily about $12, the MTA will be charging $150 on game days. There's always the free watch parties, though. Canal Side will have them. Not a new idea. Here's video from when they did that in 2012. But Silo City's plans to show the games on the sides of its silos are a new thing, and not to be outdone, there will be free watch parties across the border in Queen Victoria Park, with Niagara Falls providing a dramatic backdrop.
This policy change comes as teen vaping rates in the U.S. have hit a 10-year low. According to government data, most teens who vape in the U.S. choose fruity or candy-flavored vapes, which are technically illegal, and they buy them from China. The flavors the FDA authorized last week include mango, blueberry, and 2 types of menthol. The company that makes them is based in Los Angeles and uses a digital age verification system.
I wish they would do the age gating technology to limit kids' use of cigarettes, because cigarettes are what cause such tremendous amount of cancer. Vaping is important. Vaping will have lower exposures, though, than cigarettes.
At Roswell Park Comprehensive Cancer Center, Dr. Andrew Hyland says there is some evidence that switching from tobacco cigarettes to e-cigarettes can be beneficial for some people who are trying to quit smoking. And he says this new age-gating technology sounds promising.
It uses a Bluetooth device, and you have to upload an image of yourself with a government ID. And if that can effectively keep kids from using the device, basically the device won't turn on unless it's near your phone that's already been verified through this age verification process. If that works, then that's terrific.
Water dripping through the ceiling and an elevator that doesn't work. This is the Autumnwood Senior Center, just one example of a system-wide failure, according to Mayor Sean Ryan.
Here's what we all know if you're a homeowner. Ignoring maintenance doesn't make the problem go away. You just end up spending more money to fix the problem down the road.
The mayor proposing a $3.4 million increase to the repair budget for city-owned buildings, including a 76% bump for maintenance staff to catch small problems before they become multi-million-dollar headaches.
Seniors are the foundation of our neighborhoods. They deserve spaces that are reflecting respect, that are safe, and that are welcoming for them to come into.
The task is massive, cataloging the conditions of the 4 million square feet of property the city owns, having already looked at Salin Field and the impounded DPW garage.
We need tens and tens of millions of dollars. I can't stress the level of deterioration. Coming with the private sector eyes, I'm horrified.
The mayor saying the era of disinvestment must end if the city is to remain functional long term, with discussions over bonding needed once the budget process is complete.
Rest assured, there are buried problems of long term that is going to be mostly met through our capital needs.
Until we get a new contract, it's going to be hard to retain officers we have and recruit officers to join the ranks.
The Buffalo Police Union president said that last Monday is a constant contract reminder since the labor agreement covering over 700 officers expired last summer. And the state controller's office city budget assessment stating no observed allowance for new city worker union contracts, with all 8 bargaining union agreements, including those for the fire department and DPW, ending next month. Mayor Ryan says there's a limited budget allotment in his spending plan, which must also offset a $100 million budget gap.
In this budget is a small pool of money to be able to look at raises, but it's not enough to settle every contract. So we're going to be going through proceedings with the unions.
In December, under acting Mayor Scanlon, the city improved the police union's medical insurance plan. Now Councilman Scanlon says it's a morale issue with potential BPD staffing concerns and other costs.
We had a tough year within the department last year. You had twice as many retirements as you typically experience. And the number of hires are not keeping up with those retiree numbers. And so that's a concern, not only financially, because that can lead to increased overtime, things like that. Well, we want to know that the men and women of the police department have a contract, they feel comfortable with their contract moving forward, coming to work every day, but it gives us cost certainty moving forward.
So I'm always supportive of labor. The financial impact of some of the decisions, that I think that's pretty heavy, but this is the cost of government as well. And we'll just have to be really strategic about it. I am concerned that we may end up in a hard control status.
Some unions may want to make this a multi-year process as when the city's getting back on its feet, they'll wait. Other unions might want to, settle now for a shorter term contract.
From the fire union today.
He's supported this union. He has put up where he said he would.
I want to have my residents, have viable options, close by, accessible, and this location, this building always served as a grocery store.
In the city's Lovejoy district, many neighbors noticed a sign outside of the Save-A-Lot on Genesee Street this week. The sign informing customers the grocery store is now closed. Buffalo Common Councilman Brian Bowman says he was disappointed by the news.
I've been actively kind of trying to call to see if there's any operators in the city of Buffalo that, might have a turnkey operation. And I don't know that to be true right now because I haven't heard from Save-A-Lot or the owner of the building. But, those are things I can do to try to facilitate some, positive change here.
To some, losing a grocery store is significant. Residents on Buffalo's east side have voiced concerns about living in a food desert.
Stuff like this has always been done in the east side communities in which we're being forced to have to make, as rappers said, we have to make $1 out of 15 cents. And unfortunately, with the inflation happening, people can barely have that 15 cents.
Sad to lose a partner like Save-A-Lot. And I think national dynamics and the economy and inflation, everything's taking over. So it is really important for my community to have good options, and that's what I'll fight for.
On your side in Buffalo, Chelsea Swift, Channel 2 News.
Hey there. Well, the goal is to make Main Street here in Angola and surrounding areas a destination, attracting new businesses and customers. Now, with a $4.5 million boost from the state, the village of Angola is getting to work.
We're hoping to give it that feel of a very small East Aurora, some old character, and it seems to be coming along.
It's all coming along. That's what business owners in Angola are saying when it comes to development.
There's so many businesses that are coming through and walking the path of just getting up and running. It will be an amazing boost, yes.
Part of that boost coming in the form of a $4.5 million grant from the state. Azalea Garlow owns Azalea's Juicery. $804,000 of that grant will be going towards her shop.
So expanding the juicery, the dining area, expanding our production area, and then the back area to for people to enjoy coming and eating and just being a safe place.
A safe place, already a hot spot for many residents.
It's awesome to see that not only little kids but older people and everybody in between have been really receptive to our awesome juices and grab-and-go meals.
And just a few blocks up the road,
I wanted to give this room a 1920s kind of old yesteryear look.
John Billatier is working on bringing a taste of Italian to Angola after years of working at a well-known Buffalo restaurant.
My uncle, owner of chefs, and my aunt, worked there 29 years. I was taught well by them. I had my father by my side teaching me very well. My dad worked there for 65 years.
While there are no set plans right now, he says he might also be able to benefit from the state grant.
I might be eligible for part of the small grants that they're coming up with, I'm hoping. I would like to repave the parking lot and maybe even reside the outside of the, maybe put some new windows on the second floor.
But either way, growing business sends this signal.
It'd be nice to show off the restaurant and show off the food when all these people are in the town, and try to show them, hey, come back to Angola. Angola's alive.
The plans for many of these projects are already mapped out and getting underway soon. On your side in Angola, Alyssa Clausel, Channel 2 News.
Buffalo Congressman Tim Kennedy, along with Senator Kirsten Gillibrand, are backing the legislation to prohibit the sale of enhanced body armor.
Hard shell, military grade, rifle resistant body armor that was used to carry out the Tops mass shooting. Body armor that should only be in the hands of our military and law enforcement.
The legislation, named the Aaron Salter Jr. Responsible Body Armor Possession Act, would prohibit the sale, transfer, or possession of enhanced body armor by civilians.
Body armor that should only be in the hands of our military and law enforcement. On 5/14, the terrorists acted in just 123 seconds to murder 10 innocent individuals and severely injure 3 others.
The enhanced armor worn by the gunman protected him from shots fired at him by Lieutenant Salter, a retired Buffalo police officer who was working security at Tops. Here's what retired Buffalo Police Commissioner Joe Gramaglia had to say about Salter's response.
He put the badge back on that day and he went to work and he did tremendous work. He saved a lot of lives that day, and I don't know that impact is truly understood by everybody, but he saved a lot of lives that day.
No civilian should have access to military-grade body armor, equipment that's designed for war, not our streets. The Lieutenant Aaron Salter Jr. Responsible Body Armor Possession Act ensures that no civilian can possess military-grade body armor ever again.
Currently, this kind of body armor is legal for civilians in most states to purchase online without federal restrictions. On your side, Claudine Ewing, Channel 2 News.